Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today's video is bittersweet because it's the last video I'm filming in the home we've been in for about 10 years now. We're moving. Now, I did pre-film a couple of videos that will air after this one that will be in the same setting, but this video is it. It's also revisiting a topic I did about 3 years ago, sharing the 10 items I would purchase first if I happen to lose all of my makeup. Maybe I'm traveling out of town and left my makeup bag at home, or a disaster happened and I just lost everything. What are the 10 items I would purchase first? I am being mindful of a budget here. I have a nice mix of drugstore and high-end makeup in this video. This video is also very special to me because it is the last video that I'm filming here, and it's a collaboration with my YouTube long-distance bestie, Reese from Reese Does Makeup. We both filmed this video about 3 years ago within 2 days of each other. A lot of people were doing this video back then, but we were talking and realized our products had changed pretty significantly since that period of time. So we figured, why don't we tackle it again? A lot of you are probably following her already, but if you're not and you enjoy realistic beauty geared towards mature women, women over 40, her videos truly provide value. She is a former makeup artist and lives in Las Vegas, so she, like myself, can give you a great perspective on how makeup wears in the heat, although hers is a slightly drier heat than mine here in New Orleans. And while she does love some glam looks, she also does everyday beauty too, and has very relatable content. She also just reached 250,000 subscribers, which is very well deserved. So after you finish this video, go check her pics out. We have not discussed anything ahead of time, so I'm anxious to see what she has in her video too. Tell her I said hello, subscribe to her channel, and if you are here from Reese's channel, hello and welcome. I am all about everyday beauty made easy. So if you enjoy that type of content, I would love it if you would consider hitting that subscribe button before the end of this video. All right, let's go ahead and get into my 10 products I would purchase first if I lost everything. These products aren't necessarily going to be holy grail products. They're going to be very practical, versatile, multitasking products. They're products that will carry me over for a while until I start accumulating other products. Now, this first product is a product that I reach for all the time. This is one of my holy grail foundations because it is so versatile. It's the most versatile foundation that I own. This is Dior Backstage. Now, if you are already a viewer of mine, you know how much I love this foundation. This can be very sheer, or I can build it up to medium full coverage, but it always looks like skin. It also does a very good job of taking on the finish of the primer I use underneath, whether it's a mattifying primer or a radiant luminous primer. So this is something that I can wear during the day or for a nighttime occasion. It's just got such flexibility to it. I honestly can't think of an occasion that it wouldn't work for. So that is why this is my foundation of choice. I could build my primer wardrobe if I wanted to and still use this foundation and get various looks. Now, my brow product might be a little bit of a surprise. This is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil. This is one of my favorite brow pencils for doing my brows quickly because of the shape. It's an elongated dash. It allows me to mimic a brow hair pretty easily, and it just is so quick for me to use. I have very sparse, uneven brows. I'm not someone that needs a perfect Instagram looking brow. I just want my brows to look nice and realistic. And there are so many days where I want to get ready quickly that a lot of times that's more important to me than, just looking so precise. And I feel like, especially right now, this will get me through so many occasions and still look really good. I'll have my shades for everything listed down below, as well as all the products I'm talking about and everything that I'm wearing too in the description box. But I bet if you're one of my viewers, you thought I was going to pick something else. But in the end, I just feel like the convenience of this and the quickness wins out. I chose the primer I did for kind of the same reasons I chose the foundation. This is the most versatile primer that I have in that I can use a variety of different foundations with it. So if I decide to build up my foundation wardrobe, this primer will likely go with most of them, but there are more reasons than that. So this is the Hourglass Veil Primer. This is one of my holy grail primers. I've gone through numerous bottles of this, and it seems to work for a variety of skin types. And I say that because I do get shiny in my T-zone. I have oily combination skin, but I get surface dehydration now because I'm on prescription retinol. So I can get some flakies sometimes, even though I have to battle that shine in my T-zone. This is very light and lotiony, and it sinks into the skin beautifully. It blurs and smooths the skin. It mattifies without making my skin look dry. It's also water repellent. I live in New Orleans. It is hot and humid here the majority of the year, and this does a wonderful job of keeping my makeup on my face, even during just really gross weather days. But not only that, this just pairs really well with most foundations that I try it with. This is my control primer when I am doing foundation reviews. I can think of very few foundations that this doesn't work well with if the foundation is successful. So my thought process was that if I start out with this primer as one of the first 10 products I run out and buy, I can then slowly build up my foundation wardrobe again and have a great primer that will go with most, if not all of them. Plus, it only takes a pea-size amount to work for the whole face. So a little bit goes a long way too. My under eye area is dry and textured, and I have dark circles. Concealer by itself does not cut it. You can always kind of see that bluish purplish undertone. It just leaves kind of a shadow, and sometimes that concealer will have a gray cast. So I have to use a corrector under my concealer to counterbalance the discoloration. I know a lot of you are the same way too. It can be tough as we get older, or if you just have dryness and texture, to find a good concealer and corrector that offer hydration with coverage. I especially find it challenging from the drugstore. I don't know why. There's so many things that are drying when I try them, test them out from the drugstore. And I test a lot of foundations, concealers, primers, and powders here on my channel. But this is a corrector that I absolutely love. This is the Revolution Conceal and Correct. I love the shade Peach. This does come in a lot of different shades. I've tried a lot of drugstore correctors, and this is my favorite. For me, this is the perfect drugstore corrector that has that great peachy tone that just counteracts those dark circles, and it also offers some hydration. It doesn't emphasize texture during the day, and it wears really well underneath whatever concealer you put on top of it. Now, I'll put my alternative down below if this is a little hard to get your hands on. Sometimes it can be, so I will have that down below too, but this is such a great drugstore product. I have a few concealers that I've really been loving lately for various reasons. This was a really hard decision for me. I'm actually kind of surprised at my own choice, to be honest, because I was thinking this might be too skin-like, but in the end, I went with Dior Forever Skin Correct. First of all, you only need the tiniest amount of product to conceal. I love dotting this on and then pressing, blending it out with my fingers. It just melds with the skin and truly looks like skin. I feel like this paired with this is such a great combination. It also works beautifully on the face if you have dark spots or blemishes to cover. It somehow wears beautifully throughout the day on my dry textured under eyes as well as on my oily combination skin. This is one of the most natural skin-like concealers that I've ever put on my face, which makes it a beautiful product if I'm wanting, a no makeup day and I just want to conceal, or if I'm wanting just a very natural look, or if I'm wanting to look a little bit more made up. It conceals beautifully, but I don't look like I'm wearing heavy makeup. I love this more and more every time I use it. I can also use it on my eyelids as an eye primer, set it with powder, and I'm good to go. So I have kind of light lashes. They're also stick straight and not very thick. So I need a volumizing mascara that is going to hold my curl, and I'll take a bit of length too while we're at it. So I chose Maybelline Full and Soft Waterproof, and the reason why I'm choosing waterproof is because it holds the curl, and this does not make my sensitive eyes water at all. Now, if for some reason I couldn't get my hands on this, if it was out, or if they didn't have the waterproof, my alternative, my runner-up, I guess, would be the CoverGirl Exhibitionist. I don't even know if I would call this a runner-up up. This actually gives me a little more fullness, but if I wanted something that was a little bit easier to use for every day that I could also build up for nighttime, I feel like this one is a little bit more versatile, but either one is great. I use them now in my life. I reach for them sometimes over high end. These were no-brainers for this video. I didn't have to think twice. When I was thinking about setting powder, I realized I needed something that was going to work not only to mattify and control my shine during the day, but I also needed something that was going to work on my dry textured under eye area so that it wouldn't look more textured or dry. But I also needed something that was kind of handy that I could carry with me in my purse in case I did get shiny during the day and needed to blot or touch up. I do believe this was my pick in my original video, and I'm standing by it. This is the number 7 Perfect Light pressed powder in the shade Translucent. Now, I chose this because this just wears really well on all areas of my face. I also love that I can carry it with me during the day. It's nice and compact. There is a loose version, but you know, can't carry that in my purse. I mean, I could, but it would be really messy. So this is my choice because I'm pretending like this is happening right now while the months are getting pretty hot. Because we're in those hot months right now here, this is my choice because I am especially shine oil prone right now, and it just works really well no matter what my skin is doing. It doesn't emphasize dryness or anything. It just works beautifully. I can even use it as a finishing powder and it looks lovely. Now, there is also the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder. If this was fall or winter and I had lost everything, I would choose this powder because I'm not as shine or oil prone then. This, I think, is a little bit better for those of you with normal to dry skin. Any skin type really, but I think anyone will work for your needs. I just think, you know, oily combination, this one, normal to dry, this one. For me, it depends on the time of year. When you're limiting your number of products, there has to be some multitasking going on, or some palettes or something where you can get multiple products out of one product. And you know, I've talked about this Smashbox Cali Contour Palette a zillion times in my videos, and I know some of you thought it would be in this video. I think if it was wintertime or fall, it probably would have, and I almost put it in here, but then I thought I have another product that I really think suits this video better because I like a brighter blush this time of year, and this just did not have it in there for me. I know it's shocking, but this is not in this video. However, if you are someone who does like a powder product and you want everything in here, blush, bronzer, highlighters, contour, kind of a matte highlighting powder, everything you need to do your face and your eyes, yes, you can get a whole look. This is one of my holy grail palettes. It's my holy grail face palette actually, but it's not what I chose for this video. What I'm choosing for this video, because it's happening right now and we are in May, almost June, is the Kaja Play Bento in the shade Cloud Latte. Now you're gonna see my full review on this in an upcoming video. It may be my next one or the one after that. I give you my full thoughts on everything I bought from the recent spring Sephora VIB haul. I've had time to test everything out. So spoiler alert, I love this. This is a cream bronzer. It is so easy to blend out. It's a great shade. And there are a few variations of this to choose from. You don't have to choose this shade. I just really have been loving this. It's a great neutral shade of bronzer, but you have a powder highlight. It is the highlight I have on today. And this blush is so pretty and spring, summer-like. I just love a good pinky coral shade, a bright shade of blush for spring and summer, and this gives me what I'm looking for. I also love that I could use this on my eyes. I mean, I can use this in my crease too. Now, I did actually start out applying this on my face, and I kind of topped over it with this just a little bit. I'm not sure if you can actually see a lot of it, but I'll try and apply just a little bit more, just lightly. It's just such a pretty shade, and it's compact and a little bit more economical as well. It's really hard for me not to choose cream or stick eye products, but I didn't want to be tied down to just one shade. So for me, getting a versatile neutral palette that's easy to work with and truly great quality was the way to go for me. So I did choose the Persona Identity palette. I feel like this is a great base to start with because it gives me neutrals, but it also just gives me a little bit of versatility too. I have a few different shades I can line with. I love combining these two shades right here in my crease and my transition area. There are 4 shimmer shades here, and you can get such a variety of looks from these. This palette has such great quality and is so underrated, but it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I just thought, you know, this gives me basically the finish that I get from a cream product on my lids, but it gives me everything I need to highlight with, to use in the crease, to use in my outer corner, as well as to line with. It gives me everything. And you know, if I'm in a pinch, I can use this shade as a highlight on my cheeks too. There's just a lot that you can do with this. I've always been someone who loves lining with eyeshadow because it lasts and it just looks softer, which I find I need as I get a little bit older. So if you haven't checked this out, I highly recommend it. It's such a great palette. For my lip product, I needed something that was going to do double duty as a lip liner because I'm in my mid-40s, my lips are not as full anymore, and I do have to even out some lip lines and create a little bit more fullness. But I also wanted that lasting power. You know, lip liners help lip products last a little bit longer, and I wanted something that was creamy. I don't like a matte lip product. I just don't find them to be super flattering on my lips anyway, and I wanted something that could last a decent amount of time. I find a lot of products that are long lasting can be pretty matte looking. So that brought me to the Milani Ludicrous Matte Lip Crayon formula. The shade that I have on my lips today, it's called Can't Even. As soon as I applied it, it reminded me a lot of another shade that I've been raving about a lot lately, the Chanel Rouge Cocoa Bloom lipstick in the shade Dream. Now they're not identical, but there are some similarities to them. They're just flattering and kind of face brightening, and I think would be flattering to many different skin tones and colorings. Now the formulas are completely different. I've raved about the Chanel formula. It's a balm formula that does last a long time, and once the balm creaminess wears away, you are left with a stain that is still hydrating. It's kind of a magical formula. It is different from the Milani, but like I said, I wanted that lip liner kind of component that the Milani gives me. So if I needed just one thing to start with building my makeup collection, this Milani just gives it to me. It's just flattering. It's gonna last a long time. It doesn't feel drying or emphasize anything bad on my lips. This just came to mind. There are some other mattifying lip crayons from the drugstore and high-end. I just really love this particular formula. And of course there are other shades you can choose. This is just the shade that I love for my coloring personally. I just shared some beauty products that I regret not buying sooner. I'll have that video linked here if you haven't seen it yet. Be sure to check Reese's video out too. Tell her I said hello and subscribe to her if you're not already. And let me know what products you would choose first if you lost your makeup in the comments down below. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.